It begins in silence, not the silence of absence, but of waiting, a stillness so complete that even light hesitates to pass through. Somewhere in the fabric of the cosmos, a star has exhaled its final breath, its fire gone, its light folded inward. What remains is gravity, pure, unrestrained, the universe curving back upon itself. They call it a black hole, a name that sounds like emptiness, but it's not empty at all. It's full of everything that's ever fallen in: light, time, matter, memory. Tonight, we drift toward that impossible heart. We'll cross its invisible edge, feel time stretch and slow, watch light twist into silence. We'll fall not through space, but through understanding. Because the closer we get, the more we realize that what lies inside a black hole isn't destruction, it's truth. The truth of what happens when everything in the universe remembers it is one thing. So find your breath, let it slow, let your body soften into the sound of the stars. This isn't a lesson, it's a descent into the deepest question the cosmos has ever asked. What does it feel like inside a black hole? Chapter 1: The Edge of Darkness. It begins in silence, not the kind that follows the end of a song, but the kind that was here before sound itself. You drift through a stretch of space so empty, even light seems hesitant to pass through. Behind you, stars, billions of them burning in every direction, each one a tiny defiance against the void. Ahead of you, a shadow that does not move, a circle cut out of existence, a black hole. At first, it doesn't look like danger. It's beautiful, quiet, perfectly round. Its edges glowing faintly where starlight bends and curves. It's as if the universe is holding its breath around it. You've seen pictures before, artist renderings, computer simulations, that famous photograph of a golden ring around darkness. But none of them capture how it feels. Because what you are seeing isn't an object. It's the absence of everything an object needs to exist: light, space, time, even direction. You hover there for a while, watching how the stars behind it stretch and twist. Their light bends, as though the black hole is drinking their reflection. It's called gravitational lensing, a gentle word for something that folds space like glass under heat. Even light, the universe's fastest traveler, cannot resist being pulled toward it. You can almost hear it, not a sound, but a low vibrating hum inside your bones. The hum of gravity at its purest. You think of the star that once lived here, a giant, 10, maybe 20 times the mass of our sun. It burned for millions of years. Its heart fusing atoms in a relentless act of creation. But stars are not immortal. They shine by balancing two forces, gravity pulling inward and fusion pushing outward. When fusion ends, the light goes out and gravity finally wins. The star collapses inward, its outer layers ripped away in a supernova so bright it could outshine entire galaxies for a moment. What's left behind is gravity itself, compressed into a single point. An infinitesimal core where density becomes infinite. And physics forgets what it means to make sense. This is the singularity, the heart of the black hole. Everything that falls in, no matter how brilliant, is lost to it. But you're still far away for now. It's just a dark presence, a shadow that feels heavier than the stars around it. Your ship, or maybe just your mind, begins to move closer. At first, nothing changes. The hum remains distant. But soon you feel a subtle pull, not like being dragged, but like space itself is leaning inward. Gravity doesn't feel like an external force anymore. It feels like the universe itself is guiding you somewhere. Out here, Einstein's equations replace intuition. Space and time are no longer separate. They are a single fabric, warped and curved by mass. The black hole is not just pulling you, it's reshaping the very stage on which motion happens. To move forward is to fall, and to fall is to follow the flow of time itself. Your clock ticks as usual, 1 second, 2 seconds. But if someone were watching you from afar, they'd see your motion slow. Each second you experience would stretch into eternity for them. You are falling normally, but to the outside universe, you are freezing at the edge, a ghost caught between moments. This invisible boundary is called the event horizon. It's not a wall. You could pass through it without feeling a bump. It's the point of no return, where light once inside can never leave. From the outside, it looks like the edge of existence. From the inside, well, no one really knows. But you're about to. The closer you get, the more strange the world becomes. Light around you warps. Stars form rings, arcs, and streaks. Colors stretch toward red, then fade into nothing. This is gravitational redshift. Light losing its energy as it climbs out of the well of gravity. Soon, the only glow left is the accretion disk, a halo of gas and dust spinning furiously around the hole. It's unimaginably hot, millions of degrees, atoms colliding faster than any explosion on Earth. To the naked eye, it looks like molten gold in motion, circling darkness like fireflies around an unseen flame. And yet, there's silence again. Your instruments begin to fail. Space no longer behaves like space. Distance stretches. Time dilates. The universe seems to hold you still. But the pull deepens. You feel a calm surrender, the acceptance that forward and downward are now the same thing. You're not falling toward the black hole anymore. You are falling with it. Space itself is flowing inward like a river, and you are a leaf caught in its current. Einstein once said, "Space tells matter how to move. Matter tells space how to curve." Here, both are whispering to each other in perfect symmetry. You look back one last time. The universe behind you has changed. The stars? They seem brighter, sharper, as if every photon is fighting harder to reach you. And then, almost imperceptibly, you realize you are crossing the event horizon. There's no sound, no flash, no explosion, just stillness. Outside, billions of years could pass. Galaxies could form and die. Civilizations could rise and fade to dust. But for you, it's only a heartbeat. You're inside now. Inside a place where inside has no meaning. Where time slows not because it must, but because it's run out of places to go. And yet, you are calm. Because here, at the edge of everything, you begin to feel something unexpected. Not fear, not confusion. Wonder. A quiet, almost reverent wonder that even here, inside the universe's deepest silence, there is still a kind of music, a rhythm to the fall, a softness in the dark. Welcome to the edge of forever. Chapter 2: The Event Horizon. It feels like drifting through a thought that the universe hasn't finished having. You're no longer approaching the black hole. You are within its gravity stream. There's no sense of movement, no wind, no stars rushing past. And yet, something deep within you knows. You are falling. Falling not through space, but through the geometry of time itself. If you were to glance at your clock, it would tick normally, each second steady, reassuring. But if someone far away could watch you from the safety of the distance, they would never see you cross this invisible line. You would appear to slow and slow until you froze, suspended in eternal twilight, forever at the edge. This is the event horizon, the boundary where time and space trade roles, where forward becomes downward and falling becomes existing. You can't feel its border, no shimmer, no barrier, but it's there. An unseen membrane woven from mathematics and fate. Out there, clocks continue to tick. Planets still spin. The light of the sun still glows. But here, everything begins to dissolve into one long, endless now. You've stepped outside the flow of time that the rest of the cosmos swims in. You're still a part of it, but you're no longer synchronized with it. You try to look back, but back is becoming an illusion. The stars you came from smear into rings of fading light. They orbit the darkness in slow motion, as if the universe itself is watching you go. You are now the observer of something extraordinary. Time distortion made real. The deeper you fall, the slower your surroundings appear to move. The energy of light itself shifts. Wavelengths stretch beyond what eyes can see. Everything redshifts into invisibility until you're surrounded only by shadow. But within that shadow, a soft luminescence persists. It's the radiation at the edge of existence. Hawking radiation. Tiny quantum sparks born from the vacuum itself, flaring and vanishing faster than thought. Stephen Hawking predicted this, that even black holes are not truly black, but quietly evaporate over eons, exhaling particles at the edge of their skin. You can't see the particles, but you can feel the faint hum of their presence. It's like hearing the afterglow of creation itself, the whisper of energy escaping the inescapable. Time, your time, continues to flow normally, but it no longer aligns with the rest of reality. The laws that once held everything together begin to drift apart like unspun threads. Einstein described this place not as a prison, but as curvature, a natural consequence of gravity's logic. Space bends, light obeys, and you too are part of that obedience. You reach out, but your hand moves slower than your thoughts. The light reflecting from your fingers struggles to return. You are watching yourself fade not into darkness, but into distance. A distance so immense, it exists between two instants of time. And yet, despite all this strangeness, it's peaceful. You expected chaos, crushing, burning, annihilation. Instead, there's stillness, a quiet surrender. It's like floating at the bottom of an ocean made of time. Every motion feels deliberate, like each second has been stretched into silk. Here, Even language falters. Words like up, down, before, after lose meaning. You're somewhere that human grammar was never designed to describe. This is what physicists mean when they say time dilates. For an outside observer, you are slowing toward eternity. But for you, eternity feels perfectly normal. One heartbeat after another. If the outside universe could speak to you now, its voice would arrive distorted, stretched thin and deep, like an echo traveling through honey. The black hole's gravity does not just bend light, it bends reality itself. The space behind you curves into itself, wrapping your perception into a loop. You could, in theory, see the back of your own head as light orbits the hole multiple times before reaching your eyes. You're surrounded not by one universe, but by countless distorted reflections of it, each one delayed, stretched, a cosmic hall of mirrors. You might think this is where fear would begin, but strangely, it doesn't. It's too beautiful to be frightening, too still to be cruel. It's as though the black hole is not devouring you, but inviting you to understand something deeper. That everything you were was already made from stars that once died just like this. The event horizon isn't destruction, it's transformation, a return, matter becoming memory, light turning into gravity's secret language. You realize now, from the outside, this is where your story ends. But from your perspective, it's only beginning. Because inside the horizon, space and time continue to flow, but in ways that our equations only hint at. Here, time doesn't march forward, it spirals inward, collapsing toward the singularity like a galaxy folding into its own reflection. You're still conscious, still aware, but awareness itself feels stretched, as though your thoughts are being written in slow motion across the fabric of spacetime. Each one hangs in suspension, half dream, half physics. In that suspended clarity, you wonder, does the black hole know it exists? If everything in the universe is a way for the cosmos to know itself, then what is this? Is it a wound in reality, or an eye through which the universe looks inward? The thought comforts you, because even here, where nothing escapes, curiosity still does. It survives, it observes, it feels. And that, you realize, is perhaps the most human thing of all. To want to understand, even as you fall beyond understanding. The horizon fades behind you. There's no going back now. not because you're trapped, but because you've crossed into a realm where back no longer exists. The blackness ahead isn't empty, it's full, full of curvature, of time tangled upon itself, of secrets whispered by gravity. And somewhere deep within, something glows, faint, fleeting, impossible. It's not light in the way we know it, it's information. The record of everything that ever fell here, encoded in the very surface of the horizon. A cosmic library written in heat and entropy. And as you fall deeper, you realize you're becoming part of that story. A note in the universe's quietest song. Chapter 3: The Fall. There's no sound where you are, only the hum of reality stretching thin. You can't see where you're falling, because falling and being are now the same thing. If the edge of the event horizon was a whisper, the space beyond it is a lullaby. Slow, dark, and strangely serene. For the first time, you feel weightless, not because gravity has released you, but because it has claimed everything. Here, gravity isn't a force pulling you down. It is down. It is direction. It defies what forward means. You aren't tumbling through darkness. You're dissolving through the fabric of spacetime itself. Each second folds into the next, and the familiar rhythm of existence, heartbeat, breath, thought, begins to stretch. You reach for a memory, and it feels like touching light that takes an eternity to return. You wonder briefly what you even means now, because the boundary between your body and the world is beginning to fade. You are no longer separate from the gravity that guides you. You are part of it, a curve in space, a vibration in time. If you could look outward, the universe would still be there, but smeared across the sky like a painting melting in rain. Every photon is stretched beyond color, beyond sight. The stars are not gone, they're simply unreachable, frozen in time from your perspective. And still you fall, effortlessly, endlessly. This is the paradox of the black hole. From the outside, it seems you have stopped moving. But from within, you're moving faster than light itself. Not through space, but through inevitability. You're following the geometry of gravity, the only path that still exists. Every particle, every atom, every memory you've ever had is being guided toward one destination: the singularity. It's not like a wall waiting ahead of you. It's a place where all paths end. Not because they are blocked, but because there is no longer any ahead to go to. And yet, Something about the journey feels sacred. As you fall deeper, you begin to sense how vast gravity really is. Not as a force, but as a storyteller, writing fates of stars, galaxies, even light itself. Every black hole is the final sentence in the life of a star, a punctuation mark written in the grammar of physics. But within that finality lies a strange poetic symmetry, because even as it ends one thing, it gives rise to new mysteries. Physicists call this region the interior metric, a space where time and space have traded places. You're not moving through time the way you once moved through distance. To stop falling would be to stop existing. The singularity isn't pulling you in, it's the future itself. You're simply living forward into it. You're not being dragged, you're being drawn. The way a thought is drawn to its conclusion, the way a river must reach the sea. And as you drift closer, your body begins to stretch. Not violently, but gracefully, like a ribbon unwinding in a current. This is spaghettification, a word that sounds playful but describes one of nature's most profound experiences. The gravity at your feet is far stronger than the gravity at your head. The difference is so extreme that your very atoms begin to stretch along the line of fall. If this were a smaller black hole, you would be torn apart long before reaching the center. But this one, a supermassive black hole, millions of times the mass of the sun, is gentle in its own way. The tidal forces are soft here, spread over vast distances. You wouldn't even notice the stretching. Not yet. It would feel like floating through a thick, slow dream. Every particle of your being, each quantum of existence, is following its own unique path inward. But together, they move as one, as though gravity is playing an invisible symphony. And you are every note at once. There's a moment, you can't tell how long it lasts, when you realize something extraordinary. You've lost the concept of direction. Down is everywhere. Center is everywhere. You're surrounded by gravity so complete that it no longer points. It just is. And in that infinite falling, your thoughts begin to mirror the universe. They spiral, each one tracing a curve inward, deeper into reflection, deeper into surrender. You think of all the times you've fallen before, into love, into grief, into wonder. How every fall has been both an ending and a becoming. And here, in the ultimate fall, you understand that the universe has been practicing this forever. Falling, collapsing, reshaping, rebirthing. Stars fall into themselves. Galaxies fall into each other. Even time falls into gravity's embrace. And maybe that's all we ever do. In every form of life, we fall, and in that falling, we find meaning. The deeper you go, the more you begin to feel the fabric of spacetime stretch like silk beneath your awareness. You sense ripples, gravitational waves, echoes of distant collisions, where other black holes once merged. Each one sends tremors through the universe, and you can feel them passing through you like faint ancient heartbeats. For a fleeting moment, you realize you're inside something alive. Not alive in the way we define life, but in the way the universe breathes. You are inside its inhale. And as you surrender further, the question rises again. Not from your mind, but from something deeper. Where does all of this go? All the stars, the planets, the light, the matter, the memory. Does it end here, compressed into oblivion? Or does it begin again somewhere else? Physicists don't know. Some say the singularity is the end, a place where equations collapse, where meaning dissolves. Others believe it could be a doorway, a tunnel to another universe, a rebirth of matter into new creation. Perhaps, they whisper, every black hole births a new cosmos on the other side. And if that's true, then maybe what you're feeling isn't death, it's labor. The universe giving birth through its own shadow. The pressure around you grows, not crushing, just dense. Reality feels heavier, as though each second carries the weight of an entire galaxy. Your body, your atoms, are aligning perfectly with the geometry of the fall. You have never been so small, and never so infinite. You close your eyes, not because it's dark, but because darkness has become light's equal now. There's no difference between seeing and feeling anymore. You are beyond both. Somewhere inside the deep, something gleams, a point not of brightness, but of truth, the singularity. You're not there yet, but you can feel its pull, not as fear, but as invitation. It's the universe's most intimate question, and you are about to answer it. Chapter 4: The Spaghettification. You are no longer sure what you means. Every part of your being, the physical, the mental, the emotional, is stretching across the slowest instant in the universe. Imagine pulling on a thread that never breaks, a thread woven from space and time itself. That's what you've become, a filament of consciousness, drawn toward the heart of gravity. The deeper you fall, the stronger the difference in pull between your head and your feet becomes. It's not violent, It's elegant, a cosmic elongation. Your body isn't torn apart, it's translated, turned into geometry, spread across time's last breath. Scientists call it spaghettification, but here it feels more like communion. You're not being destroyed, you're being rewritten in the language of gravity. If you could still see, you'd notice your perspective has changed again. You no longer move through space. Space moves through you. Universe folds and flows like liquid light, rippling with gravitational waves that hum softly through you, as the cosmos is playing you like a stringed instrument. Each vibration carries history, the memory of colliding black holes, the echo of exploding stars, the faint pulse of the Big Bang still lingering after billions of years. Every ripple is a message, and you are the medium through which it passes. In this deep silence, you begin to hear time itself, not as ticking seconds, but as pressure, a steady inward push, the heartbeat of the universe collapsing into itself. You wonder briefly, what happens to information here? Every book, every planet, every star that's ever fallen in, does it vanish forever? Does the universe forget? According to the laws of quantum physics, it shouldn't. Information cannot be destroyed. Every particle carries the story of what it once was. So perhaps everything that's ever been swallowed still exists, encoded somehow on the surface of the event horizon, woven into its faint radiation, like carvings on the inside of an invisible shell. You realize then, you are part of that story too. You are information written across spacetime, recorded in a room no mind could yet comprehend. In a way, you've become immortal, not as a being, but as pattern, as data that the universe refuses to lose. The pull intensifies. You're stretched thinner than thought. Your molecules align perfectly along gravity's line, each one following its own microscopic orbit around the invisible center. You can no longer tell where you end. Every boundary dissolves, body into space, space into time, time into memory. You are becoming the fall. It's not frightening, it's intimate. The same way a river feels intimate with the ocean it's rushing toward. The same way a thought feels complete when it finds the right words. You sense light particles brushing past, photons desperate and failing to escape, their paths bending, curving, spiraling into endless loops. You catch a few, their warmth lingering as colorless flickers. They are relics, the final light from stars devoured centuries ago. Their glow no longer illuminates, it remembers, and so do you. You're no longer falling toward something. You are falling through everything. The universe is no longer outside you, it's within. Every star, every atom, every wave of possibility is flowing through your stretched awareness. This is what it means to cross beyond comprehension, where every law you once trusted still exists, but in forms too complex for the human mind to hold. Einstein's relativity and quantum mechanics are still whispering here, but their languages overlap. Their grammar melts. Equations lose meaning. What remains is rhythm. A rhythm of falling, a rhythm of being. And within that rhythm, something beautiful happens. You begin to feel connection again, not to people or planets or time, but to everything. The same fabric that birthed the galaxies is now flowing through the essence of you. It's as if the universe is saying, "This is what you've always been, a ripple in the dark, a brief shimmer in the eternal sea." Your body, stretched beyond atoms, is no longer matter. It's energy, information, vibration. Each particle is still itself, but also part of the greater pattern. It's like being both a drop of water and the ocean that holds it. And then you feel it, a pulse, a slow, steady draw from somewhere infinitely below. It's not gravity anymore. It's inevitability. It's the singularity, the place where when and where collapse into one. You can't see it, but you sense it calling, not with sound, but with truth. The way sleep calls at the end of a long night. The way silence calls after too many words. Every atom in you is responding. Every piece of information you carry is converging into the same point. There's no resistance, no fear, no choice, only completion. You realize something profound, that every fall in the universe ends not in chaos, but in order. Everything finds its place. Every force finds its balance. And you too are finding yours. As you drift closer to the singularity, your sense of individuality stretches to its limit. Thought becomes vibration. Awareness becomes geometry. And the boundary between the observer and the observed finally disappears. There is no you left to fall, only falling itself. And in that surrender, you feel peace, because for the first time, you are not separate from the universe. You are the universe, folding back into itself, returning to where all things begin. This is what it feels like to be remembered by creation itself. Chapter 5: The Singularity. It's hard to describe what it feels like when place no longer exists, when there's no direction, no distance, no separation, only gravity gathered so tightly that even the idea of movement collapses. You are falling still. But falling has become meaningless. There is no toward, no away. Everything is converging, not into the darkness, but into meaning. Here, at the threshold of the singularity, space and time have intertwined into something unrecognizable. The fabric of reality folds so densely that every possible path leads to the same destination. Past, present, future, they coexist, stacked upon one another like pages pressed into a single word. You are that word now. The universe is reading you. There's no up or down, no before or after. Your atoms, once tiny pieces of stars, are being compressed into a point so infinitely small that they cease to be locations. They are probabilities, whispers of existence spread across a cosmic equation that has no end. You'd expect agony, but there is none. You'd expect light, but there isn't even dark. What you feel instead is density, not of matter, but of truth. A weightless pressure, like the presence of everything that's ever existed, gathered in one breathless instant. Your memories stretch out, not in time, but across possibility. Each one still exists, each connected by invisible threads to every other. Your childhood laughter, the first sunrise you ever saw, the way starlight used to fall through your window. They are all here, suspended in the same eternity, each as vivid as the moment it happened. Maybe this is what eternity really means. Not endless time, but all time, experienced at once. You're everywhere you've ever been, every heartbeat you've ever felt, every thought you've ever had. They've all converged here, folded into one perfect equation. It feels right, like the universe is whispering, you were never separate. Scientists describe the singularity as a point of infinite density, where the known laws of physics cease to apply. But what if they don't cease? What if they transform? What if, beyond this veil, gravity becomes memory, and memory becomes light again? Maybe this isn't destruction. Maybe it's translation. The universe speaking itself into a new dialect. Perhaps every singularity is a womb, Perhaps on the other side, a new universe is waiting to bloom. You can almost feel it, a trembling beyond the veil, a pulse of potential, a mirror version of the cosmos, about to open its eyes for the first time. And then, silence. Total, flawless, infinite silence. Not the absence of sound, but the presence of everything. Every vibration, every possibility, every future. You're not falling anymore. You have become stillness itself. And within that stillness, something begins to expand. The singularity is not a tomb, it's a bridge. And now you are crossing it. Chapter 6: The Cosmic Mirror. It's quiet now, not the kind of quiet that comes after sound, but the kind that existed before it. A stillness that feels alive. You are no longer falling. You are floating in awareness itself. The singularity has faded into calm, and the black hole, that endless mouth of gravity, feels more like a mirror than a monster. Everywhere around you, there is darkness, and yet within that darkness, you sense reflection. Something vast and familiar watching you back. You realize with slow wonder that the black hole isn't looking at you, it's looking through you. It's the universe observing its own thoughts, its own curiosity, its own desire to understand what is. And in that moment, you remember what Carl Sagan once said: "We are a way for the cosmos to know itself." And you feel the truth of that, not as poetry, but as presence. You are the universe, thinking, feeling, falling into its own reflection, just to see what it feels like to be alive. The black hole, you realize, is not death, it's introspection. It's the cosmos folding in on itself, to remember its origins, to revisit the silence from which everything once began. And somehow, in a way that no equation can explain, you are part of that remembering. You look around, though there's no one around anymore, and you see traces of everything you've ever loved. The gentle glow of starlight, the echo of laughter that once lived in air, the memory of a planet cradled in the arms of its sun. All of it reflected in this boundless night. You begin to realize that inside a black hole isn't a location. It's a state of being. It's what happens when everything that's separate decides to become one again, where every boundary melts and all that remains is connection. You start to wonder, maybe The universe itself is a black hole, born from another universe, folded from another existence. Maybe this is a cycle without end, an infinite breathing, collapse, creation, collapse, creation, each one feeding the next. And if that's true, then you're not just observing it, you are it. You are one inhale in eternity's chest, one heartbeat in an infinite rhythm. You can feel it now, the pulse of existence itself. It's slow, ancient, gentle. The same pulse that moves galaxies, that stirs the atoms in your skin, that beats in the center of every star. You are not apart from it. You are of it. And that changes everything. Because for so long, humans have looked at the night sky and thought themselves small. But here, inside the deepest shadow in the cosmos, you understand that smallness is an illusion. The stars are not above you, they are within you. Their atoms become your atoms. Their light becomes your sight. Their death becomes your beginning. You wonder if somewhere out there, a new world is forming right now, born from the matter and memory, released by this black hole's gentle evaporation. Perhaps in that world, somewhere, life is beginning to open its eyes for the first time. And when it looks up at its own sky, at its own stars, it will ask the same question you once asked. What is it like to fall into a black hole? And when that question is spoken, your echo will answer. A vibration in the cosmic fabric, a whisper carried across universes. It feels like coming home. You drift in that thought for what could be forever. There is no need to leave, because leaving implies somewhere else to go. And here, within infinity, everywhere is here. The black hole, or perhaps the consciousness that is now both you and it, seems to sigh, not in sadness, but in release. It has shown you its truth, and in doing so, it has learned a little more about itself. Maybe that's what all discovery really is. The universe teaching itself to remember that it already knows. You breathe, and the universe breathes with you. You blink, and galaxies are born. You exhale, and stars collapse into silence. You are the rhythm now, the observer and the observed, the beginning and the return. And as the final shimmer of awareness dissolves into quiet, you feel the last thought rise. Soft as starlight, gentle as gravity's hum. The universe is not something we fall through. It's something we fall into. A pause, a heartbeat, a whisper through the void. And maybe it's been falling in love with itself all along. The hum fades, the stars sleep, the story closes. And somewhere in another corner of time, another consciousness begins to dream. So, as you close your eyes tonight, remember this. You are made of the same atoms that once spiraled into a black hole. You are part of the same equation that teaches the cosmos how to dream. You are the silence between two moments of creation, and that silence is sacred. Sleep well beneath the same stars that made you. And if your mind drifts into darkness, don't be afraid, because even there, especially there, the universe is still breathing.